Top Gun Maverick is the long-delayed sequel to the 1986 classic starring Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Glenn Powell, John Hamm, and Ed Harris. In this film, we follow Maverick as he's tasked with training a Top Gun class for an extremely difficult and most likely deadly mission, while also coming to terms with what happened to Goose in the first film, as well as if he's still capable of doing what he does best. I think first I need to get this out of the way. I'm not the biggest Top Gun fan.
I'm sorry, what?
I saw the first movie a couple weeks before I saw this, and frankly, I thought it was just okay. While the characters were well written and had some surprisingly emotional moments, I found the story to be pretty boring and the action scenes to be pretty meh in my opinion. However, this is no longer 80s Tom Cruise. This is the Tom Cruise that hangs off of airplanes, climbs the world's tallest building, and high-speed motorcycle chases through Paris with no helmet Tom Cruise. I knew that Top Gun Maverick was going to be a different beast in the first film, and boy was I right. Top Gun Maverick not only exceeds the first film in practically every facet, but it might just be one of the best films of the year. When you think of Top Gun, no one really thinks about the story. They just think Tom Cruise flying jets and looking cool while doing it, and while there is that here in strides, the story here is actually pretty damn good. Setting up the stakes right from the get-go, we're immediately drawn in and want to see this team succeed. Had this been like the first film with Cruise training a Top Gun class with no real goal, this would have been an absolute bore. But here, having clear stakes and an ultimate goal they're reaching towards makes the film all the more intense and interesting to watch. What surprised me even more was the character work that was done here for Maverick. It would have been so easy for this to have been a standard old wise mentor begrudgingly trains youngsters kind of story, but this film decides to take that concept and evolve it. Here, Maverick has a lot of self-doubt about himself as a teacher, mainly because he blames himself for what happened to Goose in the first film. His son is a part of the team he's training and he fears he'll die like his dad, and Maverick can't have that on his conscience. Not only that, but this film kind of breaks the fourth wall and directly asks, why are you still doing this stuff, Tom Cruise? You're getting older, you can't keep doing this. And by the end of the film, you get sort of an answer to that question, and you sit in the theater going, yeah, Tom Cruise is the best at what he does. The director of this film, Joseph Kosinski, who made Tron Legacy, Oblivion, and Only the Brave, really understands how important it is for us to be attached to our characters in order for the story to work. While you get some trope characters like the general who doesn't understand or like Cruise's ways, or the snarky pilot who thinks he's the best, Kosinski knows to ground these tropes in reality and build upon them so they can actually become full characters by the end of the film. He did this brilliantly in Only the Brave, really underrated movie by the way, and he does it fantastically here. But I know what you're all here for. Is the action good? Well, I'm happy to say the action rules! If you aren't aware, Cruise did all his own flying for this film, and as far as I'm aware, got a lot of the actors to do their own flying as well. Immediately, you can feel the difference with the action scenes here. The geography is crystal clear, there's a real feeling of danger every time they fly. The entire third act is some of the best edge-of-your-seat action I've seen in a very long time. Had the flying not been practical and the character work done poorly, this third act wouldn't work at all. But my god, every second you see someone fly is magnificent and pulse-pounding, and I loved every moment of it. Somehow, Joseph Kosinski, Cruise, and Christopher McQuarrie found a way to bring Top Gun back over 30 years later, breathe life into the series in a way that didn't exist before, and make every other action movie in the past few years look lazy by comparison. Cruise delayed this movie for 3 years so people can see it in theaters, so please go see this in the biggest and loudest theater you can. I promise you, even if you didn't like the first one like me, you're going to love this one. I'm going to give Top Gun Maverick a 9 out of 10.